Hi, I'm Karen Roby with TechRepublic, talking today with Pascal Gauthier, the CEO of Ledger. And Ledger, Pascal, is celebrating your fifth anniversary this year. And Ledger is a company known, of course, for security in blockchain. So let's just start a little bit with blockchain in general. Where do we stand?
What are we saying? Blockchain in general? That's an amazing question. I think when we talk about blockchain, it can cover many things. If we talk about cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, white paper, 2008, we're sort of 11 years after, and I think this is still the beginning of a big revolution. Even 11 years after, protocols are still very young. Bitcoin has several contenders, and we've seen lately with the Libra announcements, different stable coins, government coins, that this is just a big wave of crypto that will change the world and the way that we exchange value.
And Pascal, before we get to Ledger specifically and some of the things that you guys are doing, talk a little bit about when it comes to blockchain. Like, what do you think are some of the biggest myths that people have?
That it can save the world, um, that you can use blockchain for everything. I think this is actually probably the biggest myth. I think blockchains are good for some things, not for everything. Centralized databases have been here and solved many problems. And I think blockchain is one of the elements of a public protocol, and it's a sub-element of Bitcoin, for example. So I think behind the word blockchain, actually, there are many things that we could refer to. So I think the misconception about blockchain is that there is such thing as a blockchain. We at Ledger, we're focused on public protocols. This is what we do. This is where we bring security. We're about the endpoint security for public protocols today. And of course, we look very closely at every other sort of blockchain initiative, but we stay focused on where the market is today. And when we say blockchain, for us, the market today is on cryptocurrencies. In the future, we might go into tokenization of financial assets. We might go into many other things, but right now the market looks like it's mainly and primarily cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin first and foremost.
And Pascal, in talking about Ledger here specifically, I know you guys started out in SIM cards and progressed from there. So just talk a little bit about your company's evolution, from where you started from and where you're going.
So look, we come from the chip and pin industry. It's a French technology actually. It was invented in France, and it's a technology that's been designed to protect secrets. That's what you have on your credit card. That's what telcos have been using for a long time. Except that so far it was protecting secrets of the bank, secrets of the telco operator. Now we've adapted the system and the technology to protecting your secrets and the secrets of uh, of your coins. Because actually owning a Bitcoin, it only means that you own a secret, and because it's a secret, only you should know about the secrets. If you tell someone, it's not a secret anymore. And so the technology that we have allows you to protect your secret when you're not using your crypto and or at the moment of transaction where you're using it, never revealing the full private key and never revealing your secret to anyone.
And Pascal, when you talk about being in business for 5 years now, and when you look back at some of the obstacles that you guys have faced, or what were some of the things that caused you guys to stop and pause, maybe change direction a little bit, or what are just some of the obstacles that you faced along the way?
5 years has been a fantastic ride, and I think there were every year was very different from the other. There was, it was never a dull moment, I would say. I think the 15, 16 were very difficult with the market that was very low. It was not only bearish, it was bearish with really nothing happening. 2017 was, of course, a fantastic year for everyone. It was a very bullish market. We were very surprised with how the bearish market came very quickly after and how brutal it was. And, for every company, it was very hard to adapt from a market that was very high with a lot of demand coming in to suddenly dropping 80%. So I think this has been a tough moment for everyone. We were prepared. We knew that it was coming. So it's not like it had taken us by surprise, but what was surprising was the intensity of the dip and how long we're staying in the bearish market. We still believe that today we're not yet back into anything that is bullish, and that bullish market is yet to come. So, what's difficult when you drive a company as a CEO in those moments is that you need to forecast and you need to adapt to the situation. So certainly has been very interesting but we remain very focused on the future and the next 5 years now, because we think the next 5 years will be fantastic compared to the past five.
Excellent. And I know one of the things, one of the areas that Ledger is working in a good bit is security within IoT services in that market. So talk a little bit about that for us.
I mean, what we do is IoT is actually very new. And when we talk about blockchain application that sits sort of outside cryptocurrencies, these are good examples of what can happen outside of cryptocurrencies. We have first two businesses that people know already. It's the hardware wallet, the Ledger Nano, that's very popular. We sold 1.5 million units of the Nano in more than 165 countries. That's one business unit. The other business unit is the Ledger Vault. So it's the enterprise version of the Nano, let's say, where we bring security and governance to hedge fund, banks, et cetera, et cetera. And to give you one example of a contract that we signed with Engie in French, which is a utility company, we put Ledger technology on every windmill that they have in Europe, and we track electricity production. So every time that there is a certain megawatt of electricity that's being produced, we send a token into a blockchain. And so everything is happening into a secure environment. And so you can be sure that then what's in the blockchain is actually true. And so that's what Ledger Origin does.
Interesting. And, we just talked about IoT there, but if we flip back, Pascal, to cryptocurrency, let's say, what are some of the things that you think people need to keep in mind? I know there's a lot of confusion out there about cryptocurrency. Of course, it's very volatile sometimes. So what is it that you think people need to know?
I think people need to know that it's still very early. People always ask so much to the new technologies, because you ask new technologies to be sort of on par with existing technologies. And so therefore, internet is very powerful today as a protocol. It works really well. And so when you look at cryptocurrencies, it looks a little bit clunky right now compared to, other technology that you can use. And so people always think that, they will want to fast track technology 10 years, but they forget that crypto is still very young. I mean, 2008, the white paper, it's only sort of 10 years in or 11 years in. It's not a long time. And so I think that what people underestimate globally is how young the industry is, and how much progress it needs to make, especially on security, but on so many other levels, user experience, user interfaces. There are many things that are not working well today, where the user experience is not so great, that needs to improve drastically if we want to look at mass adoption. But these things take time, but 5 years, 10 years, the industry will look very different. And most of the companies are working hard towards that end goal, and we are working hard certainly towards that end goal.
All right, very good. Well, congratulations, Pascal, on 5 years and your success thus far. And if you want to learn more about blockchain in general, make sure you check out TechRepublic. Thanks for watching.